All right, y'all, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I am coming to you from my sister and brother-in-law's patio, their balcony again. Tried to straighten my hair a couple days ago, but in this humidity, it was an exercise in futility. I wanted to get on here today because for the past few days, I keep hearing about testimonies and testifying and the power that releases for others, because when you tell your story, you're always bearing witness for someone who needs to hear it. So I wanted to get on here today because last week on Thursday, I was in urgent care. So for the past 20 years, since I was 25 or so, I have been living with thyroid disease. So my thyroid does not work the way that it's supposed to. And your thyroid is responsible for so many different functions in your body. And I'll give you the opportunity to look up those functions, but it is imperative to have a working thyroid. And about 20 years ago, I had taken my daughter Maria to the swimming pool and just didn't feel well. It was almost as if I felt like I had been drinking, but I hadn't had anything to drink. And the moment kind of culminated when her bathing suit, she had a tied bathing suit at her neck and it was coming undone. And I let go of her in the pool to tie her bathing suit. Now, those of you that know me and Maria know that she has cerebral palsy, and so her muscles don't work the way that our muscles work. And so I had literally let go of her in the water to tie her bathing suit. So at that point, I knew something was wrong because I was not thinking the way that I typically think. So we got out of the pool that day. I called my mother. I was like, I need your help one time for my mother. And she came over and watched Maria while I went to the doctor. So after blood work and all that jazz, I found out that I had thyroid disease. So I've been taking medication literally for the past 20 years. And I'm very aware of how I feel. Most of us, we pay attention to how our body feels. And so last Thursday, I knew something wasn't right. I felt terrible. And so I went to urgent care. And the doctor that I spoke with, bless her heart, I actually thanked her for being so thorough, because she was questioning me about other things such as diabetes and stuff like that when I told her my symptoms. But I said, no, I know what this is. I've been dealing with it for 20 years. It's my thyroid. And so long story short, it took a day to get the results back. And sure enough, it was my thyroid. But here's the crazy thing. I'm considered hypo. I suffer from hypothyroid disease. And then you could also be hyper. So hypo is an underperforming thyroid. Hyper is an overperforming thyroid. I currently take 150 microgram tablets of Synthroid to help with thyroid functioning. The test results said that I was taking way too much medication. And I'm exaggerating a little when I say way too much. But typically, I have episodes with my thyroid disorder at least once a year. And when those episodes occur and I go get my blood drawn, it's always that I need to take more medication. This was the first time ever in the past 20 years that the test results said that I was taking too much medication. And the testimony in this is, about a month ago, I started praying for God to heal my body. Now, overall, I'm pretty healthy for a 46-year-old woman. I am very active. I usually work out 3 or 4 times a week when I'm feeling well. When I'm not feeling well, my symptoms for thyroid disease are typically complete exhaustion. So I can wake up in the morning and feel like I've had absolutely no sleep, or I will get muscle aches. If you've ever had the flu and you felt that muscle ache, that's what it feels like with thyroid disease. Also, I'll get brain fog. I forget things a lot. My memory is absolutely terrible. So those are some of the symptoms that I've been dealing with for the past 20 years. But about a month ago, like I was saying, I had prayed for God to heal my body. And this was one of the examples of how that is absolutely happening for me. So even though I had just filled my prescription for the 150 microgram tablets, when they found out I was taking too much Synthroid, they gave me a lower dose. And so I had to go back to that same pharmacy and get a lower dose. And I was just there. So the pharmacist was like, okay, so they lowered your medication? And I said, yes. And that might not seem like a huge deal to a lot of people, but for me, it was impactful because, again, for the past 20 years, they've had to increase my dose every single year. And I'm learning to listen to my body because I'm at the point in life where it's all about sustaining and making sure that you are functioning at your optimal, because I'm considered middle-aged, and so I have to hang on to what I got going on and improve however I'm able to do so. So just wanted to get on here and testify, give my testimony for, how I've been dealing with thyroid disease. And I appreciate your time. Hope you are well, and encourage you to ask the Lord to heal your body as well, because there's nothing that He can't do. So take care of yourself, and I will be back on here soon. Be blessed.